Hello, welcome to TalkRadar. Rich, you said I giggled too much in the last podcast. Just gross. Yeah, you gave me so much crap about giggling at the beginning of the podcast. Because God forbid I have fun.
I am clearly not prepared for this.
Who's that? Who's talking?
This is Charlie Barratt.
C-Bear, Charlie Barratt, Xbox editor extraordinaire. And we also have
Payne Shatterson, associate features editor.
Payne Shatterson.
Brett Elston, Nintendo editor.
Biggity Brett Elston.
Occasionally. And that was the actual intro?
Yeah.
I thought you were joking.
No, that was
Didn't you see his face? He was dead serious.
You get for giving me shit.
Keyword being
About
dead.
being a giggle puss. But anyway, yeah, we're down to Tyler and Michael this week. Michael is... Can we say what Michael's doing?
He's seeing a slew of pre-E3 games that he probably can't talk about until mid-July when E3 actually happens.
Yeah. It's like a pre-Super Bowl you can't disclose till after the Super Bowl.
Exactly like it.
Sound like a great game? Okay. Anyway, we'll jump right into it. What was our top 7 this week?
The worst parts of the best games.
Worst parts of the best game. Written by who?
Oh, looks like my picture's there, so I guess me.
Attaboy C-Bear. And what worst parts of best games. Even games we love dearly have awful, irredeemable sections.
Right. Well, this is only the best games, the games that we love dearly.
Yes.
And we think are so perfect, but they all... we're not just looking for tiny imperfections here. They're the major flaws that are constantly bugging you and keep some people from ever playing them to begin with.
And the entire article was pretty much inspired by Kingdom Hearts and the goddamn gummy ship.
Gummy ship is the first one there.
The gummy ship. And I never know, they kept that spelling and didn't incorporate the goddamn gummy bears.
I know, I wanted to include the gummy bears just because they're so hideous looking. I wanted to embed them into the article and just point out and say, these guys are assholes.
But we ran into some conflicts with Disney.
No. Disney wouldn't let us call them assholes.
Yeah. Fuck you, Walt. The gummy ship...
That was fast.
Seal's broken.
The gummy ship was just... It's just kind of useless, but it's not maddening. And that's why I was like, you can't use the gummy ship without using this stupid-ass Little Mermaid level from Kingdom Hearts 2.
It's funny you brought that up.
Really? Because I cued the music.
Well, it wasn't the thing with the...
Let the music move you. You can do it.
So what is this? What is this scene in the game? I didn't play Kingdom Hearts 2.
You didn't play Kingdom Hearts 2? Oh, okay.
No.
Well,
After enough of the gummy ship in the first one, I was done with it.
Why wasn't that song in the movie? That's what I'm wondering.
Shane, you're the most familiar with this game. I mean, how many of the songs in this section of the game were from the movie, and why did they have to bother making up this horrible atrocity?
I think there were either 5 or 6 song segments in the game, and I believe 3, 4, maybe even 5 of them were from the movie. That one obviously wasn't, and it was just a horrible rhythmical section that I guess was somewhat optional, but also you had to do if you wanted specific magic in the game, and it just sucked. Each segment was like a half an hour, 40 minutes. It was like, oh shit, Ariel's sad. Well, you got to go sing with her to make her happy.
It interrupted an epic button mash. It's like if you threw like a fucking hoedown in Dynasty Warriors or something like that.
It interrupted going XXX repeatedly for you to go X.
Occasionally you could go XX. Don't sell the game short.
I won't.
The game needs your help. It's really struggling up there.
Throughout this entire thing, Sora is a shirtless merman.
Yes.
And I believe you can see his little boy nipples, and it's very disturbing.
Oh, so lickable. And,
He was that in the first Kingdom Hearts, though, wasn't he? I beat that one, but it was like 12 years ago.
But was he dancing in the first one?
Yeah.
Was he wishing his tail?
No, it was just a horribly controlled area where you barely swam around the same room.
Yeah. Well, what was number 6 in the top 7 worst parts of best games? Oh, you don't know?
It's Halo.
Oh my god! How can you do that?
Yeah, the worst part of Halo was not just plain Halo, apparently. It was the flood.
What are you trying to say?
And don't reiterate your article. I want to know why you think this is the worst part, because I'm not sure I'm really on board with this.
With the flood being the worst part of Halo. Because Halo was fun because you had vehicles and you had big open environments and it was colorful. You were on beaches and green mountains and shooting pink pellets and needles and green guns and blue guns, and it was colorful and open and just it was different, and
It was like a preschool day.
there were crayons and
There's shapes.
Very little molestation.
I learned how to do cursive that day. But it was the flood is like everything that Halo was supposed to get away from. It was just going through dark hallways with a shotgun, or you shoot and it explodes into a million of those little things, which look just like Half-Life's head crabs. What did you like about the flood?
I just didn't hate it.
I didn't mean to sound so confrontational.
It was just because after going after sentient soldiers for a while, I found it kind of relaxing to just blow away like they just puff of smoke, boom, gone.
But I mean, you can't argue like the library in Halo 1
You
is
can't.
the worst level.
And also, I played all the Halos. I have no idea what the Halo story is about, and I don't know where these things fit in.
Did you play all the Halos, or
I
just
did play all the Halos.
Okay.
I played all the way through in like one shot Halo Triple.
Right.
Well, the story of Halo is definitely not great, which is why I included the endings as the follow-up there.
Halo has excellent bullet points and a horrible story.
What are the bullet points?
Yeah,
like ring in space that'll kill everything. Each of the individual things are neat. The Covenant by itself is fine. The Flood by itself is fine. They're all fine concepts, but then when they're like, and here's how they all relate to each other, they don't. Big X over everything and credits, and then there you go.
I mean, I kind of disagree. It's just the story's kind of not presented very well.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. Is they had a great.
Can anybody sum up the story in 3 sentences or less?
Kaboom.
We could just go to Halo, the story so far on GamesRadar.com.
Just reiterate it for me right now.
Which one?
Any Halo.
Oh, I'll walk into this. So the Master Chief is going to... Oh, man, you're so bored already. Oh,
Chris, wake up.
Wake up, Chris. Number 5.
Number 5.
I don't know, this might be the most controversial one because it's about GTA 4.
Oh, that movie or that game just came out. It's so good.
Yeah, it's so topical.
We talked poorly about it.
Wonder why we included GTA 4.
Oh,
so the worst part here was the socializing because
awful.
it's just like it's optional, but for any completist like myself, you want to get that achievement for getting over 90%, and it doesn't take that long, but you want to maintain it throughout the game, and then they call you between every mission, and I sit down with 2 hours every night. I want to play GTA 4 for 2 hours, and I'm going to get one story mission done, and then Brucey or Michelle or Roman or somebody's going to call me, and I feel so bad turning them down because they sound so disappointed.
You get over it about 33 hours into it.
Because they're always like, "Hey, sorry, I'm busy. Oh, I see how the fuck it is." Like,
no, it's because Roman's like, "Oh, okay, cousin," and then he just hangs up. And
okay, cousin, I'll have sex with 3 girls.
I'll go look at the American titties by myself.
Nico, I used to know like titties.
But then also, like, it artificially inflates the length of that game where I'd go pick up Brucey because I want to hear his dialogue, and then that takes an extra X amount of time to drive there, and I always take motorcycles. Invariably, I get hit so hard by something.
Yeah, don't take a motorcycle, man.
And Brucey dies, and then I pick him up. I pick him up shirtless at the hospital.
He's just like, yeah.
He's like, dude, man.
I'm alpha, dude.
I love flinging off the back of a bike and then hit by a passing truck. It's great.
He's genetically superior.
It made me want to turn off my phone, which also meant I couldn't do actual missions.
Right.
And I wondered if looking at it, maybe the phone in general, because there was a lot of stuff I liked about the phone, but none of it involved using it. Because I liked that it made a staticky sound on the radio when your phone rang. I liked having one, and it could take pictures. But most importantly, no multiplayer menu. And that stupid fucking 360 game kicks me out all the time, and then I have to go back. And I guess, I probably shouldn't be blaming the phone for that. That's probably more Rockstar.
But then it automatically starts loading you into the first mission again.
Loads you into the single player again. And I wanted to...
It's back, you bitches, again.
So next was...
Number 4?
Okay, so the next one is the Legend of Zelda series, and I chose water as the worst parts.
Oh, wow.
Mostly because of the water temple, which I think is pretty much universally agreed is the worst level in any game ever.
This is like very easily defensible because normally the comments, cause this article ended up on Go Nintendo, and usually the comments about most of our articles are rampant disagreement.
Or just 7 pages.
Or 7 pages. But this one was like, the first comments were like, yeah, we people with who love the water temples are a sick breed indeed. Like, they are acknowledging, like, these are awful stages. And then one of my friends was like, as soon as I saw the pano, I knew Zelda was in it, and it was the Water Temple.
And it goes beyond the Water Temple. I love Wind Waker. It's actually one of the only Zelda games I've played all the way through. But
Really?
yeah, I mean they're big games.
Look at weirdo.
Where's your sound effect? Your stunning sound effect.
Oh, excuse me.
Is that
Brett
your magic
really likes
revelation
it.
sound effect?
No,
Go to.
it is. It's my free bird. All right, number 3. Worst parts of best games.
Dead Rising. And the worst part is zombies. I hate that. A game about zombies is stupid.
Are you what?
That's
No.
the best part. The worst part's the time limit and the 72-hour structure, and just why, if you're going to have a great game that's about something so great, about killing zombies in a mall, that's perfect. Just let the player loose. Let them do it forever, however long they want, in any order they want. No, you've got to do it this crazily convoluted structure, which makes you start over again all the time, and people can't figure out how to save. They're constantly worried about how much time is left. I mean, I can see why they tried to give it this.
Are you more frustrated that I think it's almost impossible to complete that game 100%. You just have to go over and do the most right things again.
I'm a huge completist when it comes to games. So
I
for
know
me,
you
it's
are. But that's
so frustrating. But I think to anybody, it's just like you don't want them nagging you for like. And it's 72 hours in game is more like a few hours of actual playing the game. And it's like, oh, you didn't do everything. Go back and start over again.
I love how the thing we hate the most about the game is the core gameplay mechanic.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I disagree.
But the core gameplay is hitting zombies with
We
boards.
hate how it's played.
But we hate everything that wraps around it. Which is true, because I was very excited. It was one of the first 360 games I got, and then I have this problem that I got starting playing Tony Hawk games, where if the first run of something doesn't go precisely how I want it, I have to reload and start again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if Tony Hawk, ending with 2 and 3, if the first 8 seconds didn't go exactly how I want, reload. And then BioShock, I did the same thing. If a room didn't go exactly how I wanted, I would reload the entire room and save after every room. And Dead Rising, I ended up restarting the game 18 or 20 times, and then finally just turned it off. I can't do that.
Which leads to the dishonorable mention for worst part, which I think is the absolute worst part, is that your directions are illegible.
Right.
I played that on a shitty small standard definition television. I couldn't. I was having so much fun, but I couldn't figure out what to do.
I can't play it.
It was my ball pit, a mall full of zombies.
Especially because the janitor is calling you every 10 seconds to tell you what to do, but he tells you through text. So if you can't read what he's saying, then just
I see a little blue bar moving. What the fuck?
It was like the only time Microsoft reminded me of Sony, and it was like, you need to have this. Spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a TV to see this.
Yeah, well, it's where they reminded me of the PC thing, where they designed a game on kicking off hardware, and never before has the hardware been a Sony Bravia. But
I know. Upgrade, asshole, if you want to play our game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 360 doesn't need you.
Which is interesting because their next game, Lost Planet, they actually had a multiplayer text issue where you couldn't read it, but then they immediately released a patch.
And have they ever? I don't think they have fixed Dead Rising whatsoever.
No, not at all.
Number 6 on the worst parts of best games.
Mass Effect. And the worst part actually doesn't say here, but it's elevators.
Which I will agree with, having gone through it 3 times. And it didn't even occur to me that was a bad part. But the moment I saw these images, these row of images, I was like, oh, I get it. On the actual article, it's just image, simulating the idea of going down an elevator.
If you realistically think back, how many
of
your Mass Effect hours through your 3 playthroughs do you think were spent in an elevator?
Yeah, I don't know. There's one specific elevator in the Citadel that's the tallest elevator I think in the game, and it's ridiculous. There's a way kind of around it. If you take these specific shuttles that get you around the Citadel, you can kind of bypass the elevators, but meh.
Yeah, I think I said in the article. It's just I know they're just trying to load the game. It's their mask for loading, but when they've built the entire rest of the game around this amazing, what is it? What century is it? Universe.
It's like 23rd, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
That's something like Star Trek, but
I was in the elevators, and all I could do was try and create an MTV's The Grind camera shot of everybody in the elevator just zooming over and over again.
Oh, I zoomed around just to look at Ashley's ass about 40 or 50,000 times.
Wow. Yeah, it was pretty painful because I'm very impatient. Okay, here we go. Number 1 in the top 7 best parts or worst parts of best games.
Look at their Mario Kart.
Woo!
And the worst part of Mario Kart, and if anybody disagrees with me here, they suck at Mario Kart, is the blue turtle shell.
The blue turtle shell. Brett, I need your expertise. When did the blue turtle shell come into being?
Was it 64?
I don't think so.
1964?
1964, the blue turtle shell.
Blue turtle shell.
There's Mario Kart. I don't remember, actually. Is it double dash?
Well, blue shell, like it didn't have wings at first.
No, yeah, but I actually don't remember. It's very sad I don't remember that, actually.
And by the way, the pictures, Charlie, hilarious, GamesRadar.com. But
yeah, the photoshops of the blue shell interrupting people.
Really,
Because if you don't know, the blue shell is the thing that you fire, regardless of where you are on the track. It nukes the person in first place, undoing all the things and all the progress they have attempted to make.
Yes.
And you can be right in front of the finish line, and then, no, sorry, you lose because you were doing better than everyone else. And that's why I quit playing Mario Kart Wii, was after like losing 9 or 10 races because of it. Like, all right, how about I turn it off? How you like that?
And that's I wonder where that came from, because I believe it was Mario Party 4, and of course it really was that first game I had that I could whip out at a party, and women would play it, and everybody would have a good time, and they had that stupid thing called the reversal of fortune, which essentially turned the game on its ear. And I didn't play 3. I don't know if they had that.
It was in 1.
It was in 1.
It was in 1.
So is that, I'm trying to pinpoint Nintendo's descent into casual irrelevance. And I want to know if that started in Mario Kart and extended to Mario Party, or if Mario Party started it and Mario Kart followed its lead and tried to make it, everybody can get first place, even if you're not good.
Oh, it's so fucking obnoxious.
What's that? You didn't practice first place? Here. Nobody's laughing. Fine. Okay. Brett's turn to do an outro. Go, man!
All right, apparently we're going to break now. And
Yes.
when we come back, we're going to talk about this allegedly leaked list of, 14 Spider-Man games, all of which are insanely ridiculous and wrong. And then some news, some exclusive stuff we did today, and more features.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is your WWE diva and Playboy cover girl, Ashley. Go to WWE.com. Check out the revealing interviews on GameRadars.com. Check out GamesRadar.com. GamesRadar.com.
Down with Zelda from the very start. I got the heart, it's smart to play the part. Down with Zelda. Creeping through with an overhead view, cause a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. So I stay on track, collect the fact, never cut the slack, and I always watch my back for Jack. Down with Zelda, yeah. Soon as then I'm the man with the plan, cause the power's in my head and the power's in my hand. Down with Zelda.
Game Boy sold separately.
We're back, and before we get going, I have to give a shout out to Destroyer of Worlds. He was banned from our forums at Radar Nation for faking his own death.
I actually saw that he was banned today, and I meant to ask you why that guy was banned.
I need the details on this, because I don't know the story.
This Destroyer of Worlds faked his own death and posed as his brother, live blogging from his deathbed.
Oh, wow.
His twin brother with the same name.
What was he dying
I
of?
laughed every time I say it out loud because I was so depressed when I read it, like, oh my god.
And how was it
Do
exposed?
something. And yes, if you're wondering why you're banned, that's because I'm probably not the only person who was kind of upset that you were in trouble. But I wish you luck, brother, and it's only a 2-month ban, and we're going to try and we're going to hold a spot for you, okay? All right.
We're happy you're not dead.
Yes, we are happy you're not dead. Okay, a bunch of E3. Why are we going to E3?
When or why?
Why? Because everything apparently got leaked this week.
Yeah. It's to the point where most of E3 only matters because of the press conferences, because where they announce the big things. Otherwise, all the games that we see there, we've already seen them all. It's June, and we've seen every game we're going to see there except the games that haven't been announced.
Yes.
But you have not seen people's asses or what food is being served.
That's right. And you may not find either of those articles on our site because they were probably they were taken down.
How about I propose the asses of E3? It's just us. We are the asses.
Make it happen.
Okay, but one of my favorite things that Brett sent over to me was the list of leaked Spider-Man games. And how many?
I think that's 14.
14. How long do they have the license for?
Let me count.
I don't count.
Ooh, counting, that's good radio.
Yeah, 14. How about that?
We're back.
We're back. Radio time. Okay. I didn't. If I gotten to write this, I have a great head. Spider-Man: Ultra Horror.
The thing with this list is that most of these, maybe all of them, are not even coming out, and it may just this list is dubious anyway, but. Some of them are just great, like Spider-Man Agile Warrior. Let's play with
Agile Warrior.
Like every time I think I'm bad at my job because of a headline, some guy gets to triple this to come up with that name. Spider-Man, a limber superhero.
But you play with the Wii balance board, no less.
Can you imagine the box art for Agile Warrior?
Yeah, I can.
Probably Spider-Man with the legs behind his head.
That is one taint.
And the next one is just shameless.
Spider-Man Hero Evolved. Play as the son of Spider-Man in 2064 using spider powers and future tech. Oh, Spider-Man and the X-Men. Listen to that bass. Dig that bass.
I know. I love this song because it's like they're trying to sound soulful with a synthesizer.
Oh, man. All the music in this game is over the top.
Here
we go.
I just hear some guy like leaning with his long hair over a keytar and shaking his head.
And we get the slow build up here. All right. I think my favorite one on this list is Spider-Man Gangs New York, which leads to Spider-Man the Aviator, Spider-Man Catch Me If You Can, and Spider-Man.
I've only
Departed.
I've only briefly touched upon all the Spider-Man games. I've played Gangs of New York in pretty much every.
What?
Right?
What is going on?
I've encountered gangs of New York in every Spider-Man game already. Why do they? They're not like a supervillain.
There's Spider-Man Mass Evolution. Spidey's skills from speed to strength to spider senses are upgradable as you play. How is that different from any other Spider-Man game ever?
Mass Evolution? Just for one dude?
Or... How about Spider-Man Webmaster? Banned!
Spider-Man admin. I like Spider-Man Chaos. Guys,
oh shit.
Spider-Man game is crazy. It is out of control.
Well, the
I think the
description.
only subtitle suitable for this would be Spider-Man Chaos.
Spider-Man Chaos.
Well, he has only 8 hours. Like they're already putting a time limit on the entire game. 8 hours, and then you're out.
See, that's why I'm led to believe that some of these are probably in some pathetic state of development.
I feel like this was just a kind of a mass email that went around Activision that people are just kind of contributing their quick ideas they thought of before going home, and
This is a cash cow. When we spend more time on top 7 dicks in Kingdom Hearts or something like that. When you spend more time on titles of Spider-Man games.
That's a good idea. Somebody write that down.
Is there a Spider-Man Unleashed yet?
Probably the most original concept I see on here is Marvel Team Up. Yeah, it's seriously about time somebody did that.
Marvel Party.
Pretty sure Spider-Man versus Marvel Zombies is the most original one on here.
Well, look what it's called. Marvel Team Up. Spider-Man meets the X-Men. What's the game we just played music from? Was it Spider-Man and the X-Men from 1992?
Oh wait, then what's Marvel versus Spider-Man versus Marvel Zombies? He was a zombie.
He was one of the zombies. So I don't get what I don't know. Which, if anyone's wondering what the hell this music in the background is, it's actually from the very first Game Boy Spider-Man game. That's why it's relevant. That's why it's being played.
I'm applauding my head.
And the only one we didn't mention was Spider-Man Vision. Spider-Man Vision.
Which is like Spider-Man of other comic book characters' name.
First and person gameplay.
First and third person views, sweetie.
Spidey style.
Oh, and Contest of Champions, which sounds like that Marvel fighting game failure EA did.
Let's not forget Spider-Man: Tactics, a stealthy and strategic. It's a stealthy and strategic Spidey game.
And there's also Spider-Man Cats.
Spider-Man Dogs.
Adaptation by Charlie Kaufman.
think they're gonna make a spiders with a Z now that you can just raise your own spider. All right,
nice.
this list officially. Fuck this list.
Enough Spider-Man. Who ran across some interesting news this week?
I guess you did.
I know I did. Here's one I thought was funny, and this is in England, and hopefully the conversion is okay. What's the biggest game in the universe right now?
GTA.
Princess Bride.
Everybody.
Metal Gear Solid 4.
No, it's Wii Fit, bitches. And Daily Telegraph came out with a news story that Wii Fit, women working out on Wii Fit have already caused $41 million in damages around the home.
Oh, wow.
Women, why don't you just lose some weight?
And I'm just trying to imagine these heifers getting up on this balance board.
Hot pocket.
But it's even calling today these tottering bovines. Just getting up the Wii Fit board and shaking their bunt around and knocking all their precious moment figurines
While they eat,
heart collector plates. Just
while they eat their chunky monkey and Cherry Garcia.
Yes, while they have a Betty Crocker frosting tube going down in a BearHat. What I'm guessing is there's that thing with the averages. It's why you should usually grab the mean and not the average. Is probably there was some billionaire playing in a room full of Fabergé eggs. So if there's one guy playing in a room with army men, one gamer playing in a room with Fabergé eggs, the average loss there is still $1 billion. Okay. Okay. And was there another news story supposed to go? Peter Travers. If you don't know who he is, he's a Rolling Stone film reviewer. And Kotaku had this article up. And I'm not trying to bust Kotaku's balls, because, yes, this would be typically good news. Rolling Stone movie critic calls GTA 4 best popcorn movie. So Peter Travers is very complimentary of GTA 4. Time to go interactive. That's right. Me, the movie critic, is actually telling you to switch to video games until Hollywood makes more exciting movies. Grand Theft Auto 4 is a hell of a game.
Yeah, fuck that Iron Man. That wasn't entertaining.
Okay, and Kotaku at the bottom is like, that's some big time movie critic praise. Nice to see that from Travers, so open to other forms of interactive entertainment and storytelling. Blah blah blah. I guess they didn't know because whatever game blog. This guy is the biggest whore, the biggest studio fillator in film history. And what I want everybody listening to this and all you guys in the room to notice, every movie that opens up, it always says, Rolling Stone says. It's always not, because this guy loves everything.
If you read numbers in a phone book too, he'll call it rivet.
I couldn't find the quote again, but I loved it. It's like I can only assume if Peter Travers saw it, it's a movie. And there was an article up on the Radar Online, no affiliation, so we're not plugging. A mind-blowing comedy classic in the making, a tour de force that sets comic and cosmic explosions in your head. So many exclamation points. I'm going to keep going. Demonically devious laughs that stick in your throat. What's he talking about?
Evan Almighty.
Borat. And it's talking about Borat. And it's talking about Borat. Even he also said, you'll laugh till it hurts. About what movie?
Garfield.
No, it's Napoleon Dynamite, which, I hate. So,
wait, what was it?
Napoleon, just basically call it, you'll laugh till it hurts, exclamation point. He has listed for Napoleon Dynamite, thank you for smoking, American Beauty, The Aristocrats, State and Maine,
Amistad.
So what is are you listing the good movies that he's given good reviews to?
These are the movies that he said you'll laugh till you hurt.
It's not just, but Kotaku has spent pages full of text discussing credibility and reviews. This guy is the least credible person.
Are you including Gene Shalit?
Gene Shalit. Well, look, it doesn't count because he has a colossal mustache.
Automatic immunity.
I wish I can't link this from the site, and that's why I said this segment may not go very well. But everything is exclamation point. Poseidon, it's a blast! Poseidon hits the action button and never stops. If I wrote shit like that as much as he did, I would be fired. Mission Impossible 3 is the movie to beat. It gets your pulse rate past the danger zone.
The danger zone. Wow.
Oh, at least they've still got the danger zone on maps.
Prairie Home Companion, a jam! The breakup. Vince Vaughn is the best friend a movie could have. And wait, was my favorite was
He must say bad things about movies sometimes.
never. He never does. And this is all
where are
like
his
2006.
reviews? And even if he was reviewing Games Radar, he'd probably say
You see Fast
7
Food
fucking
Nation?
pages.
You see Fast Food Nation?
No.
That's right. Nobody did because it's
I read the book.
boring. I did read the book, so the movie was kind of boring, but in this case, it's a firecracker that jumps off the screen. But how physical can your reviews keep?
Does he
getting?
just describe things that have happened?
That's the thing, and I don't think we have that in our little industry yet. We don't have blurb whores, and I think this guy writes.
We do. I mean, you look at the back
so?
of. Yeah, we do. Look at the back of any box from IGN or GameSpot.
But usually what I find there, it's just the laziest thing you could think to write.
Well, I've been contacted too. I mean, not to any horn at all. I have no sway over anything. But hey, can we use this generic sentence that you used to finish an opening paragraph to post on the back of our game? Yeah, all right, whatever.
That's why you get things with like Lost Planet says plays like a dream from Games Radar. I don't actually ever remember reading or writing that. And I wrote everything pretty much about Lost Planet.
Well, guess what movie was pure adrenaline? That's right. It was Apocalypto, the Mel Gibson tiger movie.
Starring a tiger and Mel Gibson.
I can't believe it looking through this. I need to use exclamation points more. Maybe I'll get blurbed a little more.
They work well in Santa.
This is for Rocky Balboa. Stallone steps in the ring, and it's every day is Christmas. This guy
did come out on Christmas, so
this guy likes GTA 4. My point is it's irrelevant. I think we're gonna go into the next break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about gaming addiction.
For those who purchased something other than a Sega Genesis,
Yeah, that's it.
our sincere condolences.
What a waste.
When you start with a Genesis, you can always add a Sega CD. And new Genesis 32X. Everything else is cold and stiff.
Burial or cremation?
Burn it.
Welcome to the next level.
Welcome back. So what are we going to talk about first, Brett?
I believe this isn't related to an article or anything that's happening in the news, but thought it a good time to bring up, now that the summer hours are upon us, games that we have been slavishly addicted to.
Yes. This is my idea to bring up. I forgot about that.
Because usually it happens over the summer. Because usually it would be like an out-of-school thing, where like I was out of school and I played Chrono Trigger for 12 hours or whatever.
Oh.
My specific thing isn't Chrono Trigger that I wanted to bring up, because mine's much more embarrassing than that.
Yes. I have a couple of, like, you sound very responsible already. It was not in the summer. It was Counter-Strike lost me girlfriends.
Wind Waker lost me a girlfriend.
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
I came out and I played it for 6 hours the first day, and she left. And then, I just kind of went on from then. And then by the time I beat it, it was kind of like, oh, right, I have a girlfriend. Shit. And then it was like, oh, I can see why you're leaving.
Because I remember it was Counter-Strike, and my friend was the first person. Sounds so podunk. The first person in town to get high-speed internet. And oh man, we all brought our computers over there because there was one guy installing high-speed internet in our bumfuck county in Florida, and he had it would have taken you months to get it, even if you would have paid extra. So I have his computers at his house, and we're all just Counter-Striking all day, just phone call after phone call. When are you coming home? Just a second. And that's why Wind Waker seemed a little easier, because there's breaks, there's arcs, there's rises and falls.
Yeah.
And Counter-Strike, just because
it doesn't stop.
Load, it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
But my other one, like severe gaming addiction with less results, was Dr. Mario, which. Unless you guys have another story that compares to this, it wasn't even that I wanted to keep playing. I was hallucinating Dr. Mario pills, and I just like a shitty cartoon dream sequences. Like things would turn into viruses and pill blocks, and I would hear the music. And I remember I was spending the night at my friend's house one time, and I'm trying to shut my eyes, and all I see are Dr. Mario. All I see is Dr. Mario. So it's the middle of the night. Can't call my parents. Just left. I just left his house at like fucking midnight and walked 4 miles back to my house. Because it's not that I wanted to play. I just thought maybe I'll be able to go to sleep and get these images out of my head.
Are you sure that the Dr. Mario pills were the only pills involved in this story?
Yeah, I was a young boy.
That's too bad. He had the prescription for gaming fun. So, too bad.
Young age is no excuse. In the middle of nowhere,
Yeah,
where we're from, that's kind of
Florida. They begin early.
Yeah, I could have been hobo raped over Dr. Mario.
Well, what better reason?
I'm curious if we have to edit out that word now.
Hobo raped?
Hobo raped.
That shit happens, man.
Oh, we need to submit that to Mary.
Mary.
Chocolate Shane, do you have a depressing gaming addiction story?
I just thought of one now that we mentioned losing girlfriends. I didn't actually lose her, but I really love Metal Gear Solid, blah blah blah. So college, my sophomore year, I was playing Metal Gear Solid 2, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna show my girlfriend my favorite part, and so I showed her the opening scene. She's watching blank stare on her face, and she's like, afterwards, like,
Why are
I'm
they
just
all
excited.
talking like that?
The part he like bungee jumps off of the bridge and lands on a tanker. It's done in crazy like slow motion, but also you can't see shit. What's going on? My face is bright, wide-eyed. I look at her with eyes like saucers, and she's just like, I have no idea what just happened. And then my roommate turns and says, Shane, there are 3 fucking people in this room, and 2 don't give a shit about what you just showed. And I was like, yeah.
Do you want to give that friend a shout out?
Yeah, Alex, I miss
Attaboy,
you.
Alex.
And Mary, you're a great sport. I'll talk to you soon.
Sea Bear, give me your worst gaming.
I'm purposely last.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Well, that's good because mine's not so great. It didn't make me lose a girlfriend. It made me very resentful towards the one I currently have. And I don't want to even reveal the game until the end. But it was like we were off of school or something. We were at home for 3 months in Illinois and just playing this game. And there was only one computer we could play it on, and we could only play it one at a time. And when it wasn't my turn, rather than going and doing something else like watching TV, going outside, sleeping, I would just sit there, not even watching her play. I would just sit there or lie there and just think, soon, like another hour, and it'll be my turn to play again.
Like
and I would just stare
there.
I'll just stare at the ceiling and why isn't it why does she have to play? I should just get to play all day long.
It is one of the most frustrating feelings, waiting to play a game behind somebody playing said game. I'm almost glad arcades don't exist because of that.
But it's just that's so humiliating because the game is The Sims 2, and I hadn't even started playing it. I was just building a house. I was building my dream house.
I want to tell them to take a piss. Why is she doing it?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, building your perfect house. Meanwhile, your food is rotting and your life is going to shit. And your clothes are unwashed.
Just get some crayons, Charlie. Just get some crayons.
Cannot stand it. Elston.
All right, so I was on vacation last September.
This is this recent.
Yeah, this was recent. That's why it's even worse for me anyway. This was in September. I'm on vacation in Puerto Rico with my girlfriend and her family. Nice beach, nice resort. Like, this is fucking swank, nice place to be, right? I was inside in the room with the fan on and doors shut playing Pokemon for hours, and I mean hours. Luckily, she is just as into it as I was at the time. She still is. So luckily, she was there, and like her parents would be like, "Hey, we're gonna go get on a kayak. You want to go kayak around the island?" But
and he was Brett. No, I want to play Pokemon.
Wait, where were you playing the game?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
No, because you said you were inside with the door closed and the fan on, and this whole time you were telling the story, I thought you were playing the game on the toilet.
Oh no. I probably took it in there though. Now that I'm thinking about it. But no, we did. We still went out. I still went. I still went. We still went kayaking. We still went hiking. We still ate all this crazy food and went places. I'm surprised I wasn't stabbed, but
none of that is important.
None of that is important. My for alligator, fucking badass thanks to that trip.
Oh God! Tell it to the nursery. Okay. In other gaming news, we got some cool feature up from Renegade Kid.
Oh, yes. Not so much a feature, it's just a fairly quick email interview with these guys. They put out Dementium last year, which you reviewed.
That was really, really cool. I reviewed it for us and Nintendo Power.
Oh, really?
Yes, I got to give it the 8.5 I wanted in Nintendo Power. Good God, if you're looking for something different on the DS.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I approached them about, like, I really want to do something, like, I want to talk to them under the guise of, what's with all the shitty DS games, and why are you guys the only ones trying to actually push the system? And there's some good responses from them on there, and these guys really try to push and had some good things to say. Like, I would ask, fuck that intro sucked. Had some good things to say.
What kind of stuff did you ask him?
Well, like, instead of going in and asking, so tell me about the game.
What was it like developing for the DS? Oh, you did ask him that.
Yeah, I did. No, I didn't ask him that, but I asked things like, what are your thoughts on the state of DS development? Maybe it's just us, but lately we're seeing more fodder and cash-ins than intelligent design. You guys seem to be actually trying. And he says, I agree. The DS market has fallen prey to the inevitable cash cow catastrophe. Publishers looking for quick fixes, spend a little money, work on little projects. It's very disappointing. And then he points out, like, some people like WayForward who did Contra 4 are actually doing good stuff. But by and large, the DS scene sucks. Like, it is dismal and disappointing. And you do get standout games. Like, I'm not going to say it's a bad system because it is clearly not. Many excellent games, but lately I haven't seen much that actually pushes an envelope of any kind. Like, these guys are pushing one other people don't even seem to know exists.
And that's the thing. Do yourself a favor if you can find Dominium, pick it up, rent it, or something like that, because it's a first-person shooter. Doesn't get done a lot on the DS. It's violent. It's fucking scary. Like, legitimately. And it runs so smooth.
Yeah,
like,
it's really smooth.
Like, there's tons of light. Like, you're mainly carrying a flashlight most of the time and a gun, and the lighting effects are amazing. It's a wonder that they've never. First of all, that no one ever tried that, and second, that they still haven't tried it, and it's almost a year later.
Well, one of the things I asked, has anybody actually approached them about licensing their own engine? And they're like, actually, yes, but they're kind of keeping that under wraps at this point. It makes sense. Well, they don't want to talk about it. Odds are somebody... Money? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody does go, we could make a pretty cool Counter-Strike mod or something for DS that would actually sell really well. Metroid Prime Hunters worked fairly well.
Halo DS be on the way. Charlie Barratt.
What?
No, you should be listening during this podcast. I was just testing.
Very important.
So, consoles.
Okay, so this week I got to watch you and Shane labor over this console generations thing.
Yeah, it's just consoles of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Went up 4 days. One has been on Dig, just doing some good numbers.
Yeah.
It's very straightforward. Exactly, here it is. This is who manufactured it. Here's a picture of it.
I know tons about games, and there was so much of that crap I'd never heard of and never seen.
Yeah, it's very. There's a lot to say, but it's a very brief history and very quick to go through all of it.
Yeah. What was the hardest decade to write out of all those?
80s.
The 80s.
Well, Brett took care of 90s, but I don't know if that was difficult because he probably remembers a lot of it.
I think probably just because we were alive and paying attention.
Yeah, a lot of those 90s weren't bad. It was just numerous and
Sega.
Goddamn Sega putting out so many systems. Even though like 3 that I forgot even existed.
Can you give me a number on Sega systems in the 90s?
Not off the top of my head.
Several hundred. Just like Coleco in the 70s. They released like 90 Pong systems.
I love that. There was one system that was just called the Pong.
How many consoles were there in the 70s in your list?
40. And in the 80s, there were 58. But mostly in the 80s, they were PCs because family and personal computers started to become more prominent as the video game industry just crashed with all their...
They plugged into televisions, acted like computers, or came with their own monitor.
Well, like in the UK,
it was either or. Yeah.
Well, in the UK and
what?
They were both. They were. That's what they both were. They either can't. They didn't come with a monitor, or they did, and they didn't.
I asked you. I thought I'd just ask you chicken or fish, and you said yeah.
How many of those 70s consoles had those guns attached?
No, a number of them came with light guns, and one
of them looks like a straight up like 6-shooter actual gun. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't
they
even look like a
yeah.
mock-up at
like
all.
made out of metal and wood, and
It's like I could rob a store holding
Yeah,
this
not only that-
console in my arm.
I
hiding
guarantee
the console inside your bag.
anybody going to a classic gaming convention can't use the airport because if that thing went through the bag,
Yeah, seriously.
bag scanner. I wish we knew what system that was.
Yeah.
Balls.
One thing, an anecdote I had about the 90s when I was writing, I found the CDX, which I actually own and is very nice. It's extremely compact Genesis Sega CD combo. But how it's extremely rare. It launched for $400 at a time when Sega was already like, wouldn't you like 7 versions of the Genesis? And a 32X and a Saturn and a Sega CD. And it's like, will you pick one and fucking go with it? This was another mismatch of two things together that I actually have come to enjoy. But as I said, they're extremely rare. And how I got mine was, it's a little underhanded and a little shameful. But I had a friend in high school who decided he was going to become monstrously addicted to drugs, and not just like, and not
Hey.
and not the cute fun kind. I'm talking he shows up at school and he's huffing paint in the garage, and because he's out of regular drugs, and his life is a total wreck. He's literally fighting with his dad, like his dad's pulling him out of bed by the ankles, and it's just, it goes on and on and on. And we tried so hard to get him off, to fix him, and like, dude, you got to get help. Like, this is out of control and bad.
Look,
And
you don't get help. I'm taking your systems.
Well, what? Finally, one day, he's like, man, oh God, I need money real bad. And I'm like, well, like how much? It's like, because you got that CDX and those Sega CD games I don't have. Maybe, $60, and I'll take those off your hands.
It's not the ending I was expecting.
And I bought them. And the good thing is, that is actually one of the things that shocked him back into reality. Because he was a big gamer, and
It was eye-opening.
Yeah, it was. And then after like a week, he was like, I can't believe I did. Like, he actually came back and he was like, I have to pull this together, man. Like, because he got rid of this max exodus of all the cool shit he had that now all my other friends own and will not give back to him as a lesson.
As a lesson, like he's reformed for fucking 10 years. No, you still can't have it back.
And that's why you
don't take drugs.
That's because I remember I said that to one of my friends. Like, if you ever want to get back into gaming, it's yours again. No, it is.
But no, he ended up getting, semi cleaned up and better.
Semi cleaned up, so now he's just legal booze.
Oh yeah,
Riddle.
yeah, all that kind of stuff.
All those great legal drugs.
He's a father now.
Of course.
A gaming system saved this man's life.
Yes.
Wait, didn't it just help them procreate? That's bullshit.
Well, the kid came like 10 years later. It's not, because this happened like in '97 or something.
But that shit's genetic. And now that, God, I'm glad I'm not living in Illinois. Let's tease some stuff we're doing next week. Shape.
Oh, a secret video project, or whatever Brett decides to assign me.
It's true.
Bear, what are you working on?
We have some exclusive features on Too Human for
Too
Xbox
Human.
360. Yes.
Yeah. Elston.
I am continuing to slave away on our exclusive announcement and big ol' reveal that we're going to have in a week or so.
Yes.
That and
Check the forums for clues.
yeah, check the forums for clues. There's a rather popular contest going on in the forums right now about Metal Gear. Maybe you should check that thread to see the hint of what the next contest / big week is going to be.
And I will be working on. No, I just got that sound effect. I had to play it. Yeah, I got some crap. But more importantly, you got one more week to get in your Metal Gear Solid submissions, and then we're going to showcase those later in the week. But yeah, next Thursday's the cutoff. If you want to win a PS3 and a limited edition copy of Metal Gear Solid 4, next Thursday is your deadline. What is it, at the 20-somethingth of January? Either way, we be out. Everybody say bye.
Goodbye.